Hello, October, and hello, Blockbuster Wednesday. We are greeting you live from the Araneta Coliseum for not one, not two, but three live ball games brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports. And we kick off today's coverage with Game 1 of the Women's Basketball Finals as the National University Lady Bulldogs have arrived after sweeping the elimination round to earn a thrice-to-beat advantage. They will take on the Season 75 champions, Far Eastern University Lady Tamaraos. And at 2 p.m., we kick off the men's Final Four, starting off with NU versus Ateneo. And at 5:30 p.m., it is LaSalle taking on FEU. Mabuhay Pilipinas at maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok ngayon sa ABS-CBN Sports and Action. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Anton Rojas. And breaking the game down with me is Marco Benitez. Now, Marco, this should be an exciting matchup between NU and FEU. FEU was the last team to achieve a sweep of the elimination round since the thrice-to-beat incentive was instituted in the league. NU was able to do it, but they want to be able to duplicate what FEU did 2 years ago.
Well, that is definitely true, Anton. First of all, good morning. We're starting it out early for this Blockbuster Wednesday. And like what you said, NU swept the entire season 77 of the UAAP. And they have the advantage of a thrice-to-beat task, or thrice-to-beat advantage against FEU. But meanwhile, FEU has come from 3 straight do-or-die matches, and they are ready. They are in peak form. For NU, what is going against them is that they have had 18 days of rest, or 18 days to prepare, 18 days of non-competitive basketball here in the UAAP.
NU has been blowing out their opponents by an average winning margin of 13.1 points per game. And against FEU, they were just flat-out dominant. Let's take a look at the first round meeting. 56-50 was the final score. Christine Abriam top scored for the Lady Bulldogs with 16, while the 6'4" Claire Castro had 13 for FEU.
Well, NU is just a deep, talented, and experienced team. In that match against FEU, they were actually down during the half, 16-20, but they relied on a third quarter kick. They outscored the FEU Lady Tamaraos 19-4 in the third quarter and 40-20 for the entire second half to pull out that 16-point victory. And then moving on also to the second round meeting, NU also had a slow first half and then relied also on another strong second half. They outscored the Lady Tamaraos 39-25 in the second half, 15-8 also in that third quarter. So we can obviously see that this NU team has a strong second half kick, and that is what they have been using against this FEU Lady Tamaraos team.
But as you mentioned a while ago, partner, an 18-day layoff. Let's see if NU will be rusty as we kick off game number 1 of the Women's Basketball Finals of the UAAP.
Number 12, Jack Panaman. At center, number 17, Claire Castro. Forward, number 15, Jamie Chan. And at power forward, number 4, April Sian. And coach of the Lady Tamaraos, Alan Alpano. And now starting for the thrice-to-beat National University Lady Bulldogs. Off guard number 13, Stan Pai. Point guard number 14, Andrea Tongo. At center number 15, Tin Abriam. Power forward number 5, Shelly Lupian. And at forward number 12, April Bernardino.
Let's take a look at the starters for both squads. FEU kicking things off today with their team captain, Jacqueline Tanaman. She'll be joined by Ana Valenzuela, Claire Castro, April Siad, and Jamie Chan. Para naman sa panig ng NU, we have starting point guard Andrea Tonko, Risa Paig, Tin Abriam, Shelly Gupilan, the team captain, and of course, April Bernardino, the do-it-all forward for the NU Lady Bulldogs.
That is exactly correct, Anton. We have to mention April Bernardino, leading statistical points leader. She's practically going to be awarded the MVP of this women's division. But for FEU here, the key is a strong start against this very formidable NU team. Remember, Anton, if they win it here, if they win today, we're going to be back to square one. Everybody's going to be even. It's going to be a practical best-of-3 series between both these teams. But if NU wins, then you can practically award it to NU because they're going to have a formidable advantage.
Officials timeout.
This is not a good sign for NU as Afril Bernardino is on the ground early here
Looks like
to start this game.
It looks like she's tweaked her ankle landing off of that rebound attempt.
This is just an unfortunate beginning for NU. We were just talking about Bernardino about to win that MVP award, leading the league in terms of the statistics. And here she is limping towards the bench. So NU will have to continue play without their top gunner. Shelly Gopilan will have to step up to the plate if Afril Bernardino cannot get back into this ball game, Marco.
True. Shelly Gopilan immediately making her presence felt, immediately stepping up to the plate with that drive, baseline drive, and then kissing it off the glass.
Now this is a good matchup right here. We have April Siat against Shelly Gopilan as we see Siat, who starts off strong in this game, beating Gopilan off her feet and floating it up for that basket.
And this is where April Siat may have the slight quickness advantage against Gopilan. We were talking during the pre-game, Gopilan already losing a lot of weight as compared to season 76. But let's see if that is enough to be able to match up with the quickness of April Siat.
Shelly Gopilan in excellent shape. She looks to be on a mission as NU is just 2 wins away from matching FEU's historic 16-0 sweep back in season 75. Meanwhile, Andrea Tongco, difficult shot, it is too strong. Ball is picked up by Valenzuela.
And for FEU, the game plan is simple. Try to pack it in the paint, force NU to shoot it from the outside, force them to lower percentage shots, limit them to just one chance at the basket, prevent them from getting offensive rebounds.
Meanwhile, Shelly Gopilan using the same move, trying to draw a foul. If the ball goes out of bounds, it will be FEU basketball.
A good defensive stance there from April Siat. The key, like I said, for FEU would be to limit NU's offensive rebounding. In their previous 2 encounters, NU had 27 offensive rebounds in the second round meeting and had 21 offensive rebounds in the first round meeting. So that has been one of their strengths.
And FEU in that second round meeting just had 8 offensive rebounds. Now, how does the complexion of the game change, Marco, with the sudden exit of Afril Bernardino here?
Well, for one thing, for FEU, for NU rather, you're losing your #1 scorer. Afril Bernardino averages 15.4 points per game, and she's also a great rebounder at 8.6 rebounds per ball game. So immediately you lose a weapon. But again, you have such a deep lineup that Gemma Miranda has checked in, and she can definitely step up.
Shelly Gopilan, well, we know that she can hit the outside shot. We saw her do that in the finals last year against LaSalle, knocking in that one. Her first triple here today. She has all 5 points of NU.
Shelly Gopilan, actually the second best three-point shooter in the NU lineup with about 24%, and has taken about a 3-pointer a game.
Gemma Miranda sat out last year. She is the former UAAP Women's Basketball Rookie of the Year, making her return here in season 77. And what a season she has had, partner.
Yep, second leading scorer here for the Lady Bulldogs. 11.5 markers and 8.7 rebounds as well per outing.
Tanaman missing on that jumper. Siat picks up the rebound. Valenzuela holds back on that fake.
NU so far has prevented Claire Castro's touches inside the paint.
Siat gets it to Castro at the free throw line. Look at the defense being applied by Tin Abriam.
Christine Abriam definitely is shorter than Claire Castro, but she is probably as strong, definitely quicker also, so able to pressure Claire Castro at the top of the key.
Well, let's see if April Siat will make the adjustment after Shelly Gopilan was able to drain that three-pointer Looking over at the bench of NU, Marco, it looks like Bernardino is having her left ankle taped up right now.
Looks like she's going to be retaped and probably checked back into the ball game.
Meanwhile, Ana Valenzuela scores on that fast break layup. Tally is 7 of 4 in favor of NU.
And that is what FEU has to do. They have to be able to run on opportunity. NU is the #1 fast breaking team with 10 points a game. FEU is #2 at 8.5.
Risa Paig, energy player, able to grab the Gopilan miss and put it up and in. Tin Abriam really playing physical defense on Claire Castro.
Sorry miss there for Jackie Tanaman. Had the wide open baseline, not able to bank it off the glass.
We also have an interesting matchup at the point guard spot between Tanaman and Tonko, but Abriam, they're playing with a lot of energy to start things off here in the finals, but she got caught napping there. Claire Castro sneaking up from the back door.
And I was about to say that Tin Abriam has so far outplayed Claire Castro up until that lob and then those 2 points.
Hard pass by Tonko to Abriam. Inside shot, Gemma Miranda able to flip it up and in.
Interior passing here of the Lady Bulldogs. That's Abriam to Gemma Miranda.
I remember talking to DLSU head coach Ty Bautista in one of the first couple of games here this season. I asked him who the favorite was in the women's tournament. Sinabi niya NU daw because they have an intact lineup and they have the return of Gemma Miranda.
And you can immediately see Coach Pat Aquino shuffling his players. That is how deep his lineup is. He uses about 15 players per ball game. Antiquera also into the ball game here.
Along with Denise Escoto, number 4. Antiquera gets the basketball, shoots from the corner. It is short. Tanaman taps it to the wrong woman. Miranda turns, fires, able to drain that shot. NU leads FEU early here in game number 1 of the women's basketball finals. The score is 15-6. Inyo pong natutunghayan ang aming eksklusibong ABS-CBN sports coverage ng UAAP Season 77. Bakbakan sa pagitan ng NU at FEU dito sa finals. Game number 1. Let's take a look at the big 3 of National University last year. Siyempre, we know all about April Bernardino and Shelly Gopilan, pero meron silang backup ngayong taon, Marco. Itong si Gemma Miranda.
Nadagdagan palalo, and you saw the stats of the big 3 of this NU Lady Bulldogs team, and very formidable ngayong ang first quarter. Nawala si April Bernardino due to that slight foot injury, but Miranda and Gopilan have taken over, and now they lead by 9 points here with still 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
And I looked at Coach Pat Aquino. He didn't show any signs that he was worried nung nakita niyang bumagsak si Afril to start the game. He knows he has a deep lineup and his players can step up.
That is also one of the advantages when you use your entire lineup, and which has been so effective the entire season. Everybody you bring out from the bench has confidence enough to be able to play and contribute to his team.
3 minutes and 27 seconds remains in this finals battle between FEU and NU. FEU, a very dominant team here in the women's division, 11 championships, tied with USD for the most in history. NU looking for its first ever women's basketball crown.
And NU so far has shot well from the field, 53%. Meanwhile, FEU yet to connect from the three-point arc,
0 out of 4. And if that happens, NU is just going to keep backing that lane and make it extremely difficult to get the ball to Claire Castro.
Meanwhile, Season has checked into the ball game for National University.
That was a good baseline play from Angel Arellado, just not able to hit that undergoal stab.
Arellado, huge surprise for FEU this year after only playing 9 games last year, averaging 3.7 minutes per game and scoring just 1 point the entire season. Meanwhile, season scores for NU instant offense coming off the bench.
I noticed NU has been the more active of these two teams. They've gotten those loose balls, gotten second chance opportunities.
See a difficult shot. Gupilan picks up the rebound.
Foul number 12, Jack.
They have also limited the FEU Lady Tamaraos to 0 second chance points, while NU already has 4.
Alam mo, partner, napansin nga natin na itong FEU hirap na hirap sa NU. NU has been dominating the opposition, as I mentioned a while ago, an average winning margin of 13.1 points per game. The only team that really gave NU a hard time was UST. But FEU talagang hindi ma-figure out itong NU. What seems to be the problem here?
Well, the problem is the advantage that FEU has among other teams like such as Claire Castro, sort of neutralized by NU's bigs, because you have Gupilan, you have Gemma Miranda, who can match up to her strength-wise and who are also quicker than her. So hindi natin take advantage ng FEU yung advantage nila with Claire Castro. And minsan, siya pa yung nagiging disadvantage because the bigs of NU are able to bring her out and neutralize her size.
Any possible weaknesses that FEU can exploit?
Actually, mahirap sabihin niya, partner, kasi mukhang looking on paper and looking the way NU has played, they're not 14-0 for nothing. So far, no weaknesses being shown, but now that April Bernardina has been slightly injured, although you can expect her to check back in, FEU just has to keep this ball game close and possibly hope for them to be able to rely on some heroics from April Siat, like what happened in that DLSU Final Four matchup.
Escoto able to drain a jumper. Denise Escoto, she's got her first field goal. On the other end, Lorraine Ventura able to race ahead of the pack and score. 19-9 now in favor of NU.
This is what you have to do if you're FEU. You have to force NU to make mistakes on execution, force them to hurry up their possession and hopefully get easy points in transition.
That's exactly what happened right there. FEU's pesky defense forcing NU to hurry things up on offense resulted in a turnover.
And that's the only way you're going to be able to score consistently, because if you allow NU to set up on the half court, their superiority in terms of personnel will really take its toll.
Antequera going all the way.
Taking it strong to the basket. Again, NU is the #1 fast-breaking team at 10 points, 10 fast-break points per ball game.
Nanaman. Antequera trying to steal the ball away. Arellado for 3. Badly missing on that shot attempt.
Kita mo sa release pa lang ni Arellado, medyo hurried na yung shot. She immediately tried to go for the offensive rebound.
Janet Season, wow, coming off the bench to score 5 points. Instant offense for Coach Patakino.
Definitely no rust here for the Lady Bulldogs, starting out extremely well, 24-9. And hitting on all cylinders.
Yun nga ang isa sa mga inisip natin, partner, kung magkakaroon ng kalawang itong National University.
And actually, sila yung mukhang fresher team. Of course, coming from 3 straight do-or-die games also has to take its toll on you emotionally if you're the Lady Tamaraos.
Valenzona trying to end this quarter on a high note. Gabrielle got it off in time, but she's unable to put it down. At the end of the first 10 minutes of play, a dominant start by the National University Lady Bulldogs. They lead FEU 24-9. Shelly Gupilan leading the way for NU with 5 points. Gemma Miranda also contributing with 6 points off the bench. Janet Season also firing in 6 points off the bench. When we come back, reaching out the second quarter, it is game number 1, the women's basketball finals between NU and FEU. We welcome you back to our exclusive ABS-CBN sports coverage of Game 1 of the finals in women's basketball tournament. Live on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Von Rojas alongside Marco Benitez, and what a hot start NU showed us in the first period. They outscored FEU 21-9 despite the early injury to their top gunner, April Bernardino.
That is true, and they did just start out strong offensively. They're also limiting FEU's points. They limited FEU to just 9 points. Remember, NU's not only the #1 offensive team, they score 67 per ball game. They're also the #1 defensive team in terms of points allowed per 100 possessions, limiting opponents to just 65 points per 100 possessions. So, yung nga sabi mo, going back to your point, halos walang weakness itong NU Lady Bulldogs.
There were only 4 teams that really came close to beating NU in the elimination round. UST lost by 2 in their first round meeting, 62-60. Yun yung pinaka-dikit na laban. Just 2 points separating the two teams. UE lost by 4. UST in their second round meeting lost by 5. And then LaSalle in the last game of NU, which happened back in September 13, lost by 4.
And NU has definitely used the time to prepare, and they have prepared really well here for this FEU Lady Tamaraw squad.
Even when we were covering the stepladder semifinals, nakikita natin yung mga players ng NU
Nanonood
at the venue mismo. Talagang nakatutok sila. At inabangan kung sino ang makakalaban nila dito sa finals. What a stepladder series that was between FEU and LaSalle.
FEU surviving UST and then beating De La Salle University twice. Last one in overtime to force this, or to get to the finals here.
Meanwhile, Ana Valenzona able to slice through the defense and get a shot to fall.
Pansin mo yung FEU, almost bleeding for their points here. Hirap na hirap makalusot sa depensa nitong Lady Bulldogs.
And Coach Pat Aquino not letting up. The big 3 about to check back in. Gopilan, Abriam, and yes, April Bernardino, who sprained her left ankle to start this game, at the scorer's table set to check in.
That's going to be a foul, I believe, on Antiquera.
Foul number 6, Trixie Antiquera.
So four new players coming back in for the Lady Bulldogs.
For Camsis Moto, April Bernardino for Gemma Miranda, Andrea Tombo for Janet Season.
And this might be the strongest lineup of NU, Marco.
Strongest and most veteran, no? Now, of course, not counting Miranda, who sat out last season, but you have the MVP, you have Shelly Gupilan, just made a stop right there.
Tonko. Bernardino. Miranda surrounded by 4 yellow shirts.
Ball possession arrow in favor of FEU.
And you like the effort there for the Lady Tamaraws. That's Angel Arellado. That's what they have to do. They're going to have to outwork this NU Lady Bulldogs team, which is so talented.
Pai checks back in for Miranda. So starting 5 of NU back on the floor. But you can see April Bernardino grimacing, playing through the pain. NU does not want to take any chances here. FEU is still a very experienced team. Baldonado missing on that triple try.
And FEU likes to run that two-man game at the elbow or close to the top of the tee. Except that that's what they did against DLSU, and that was successful between Tanaman and April Siat. But here against NU, NU has done a great job neutralizing that two-man game.
Arellano able to draw a foul on Andrea Tonko.
Foul number 14, Andrea Tonko, her first two on the Lady Bulldogs. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
FEU with 7 players from that season 75 team that swept the entire season, went 16-0.
We were saying during that game against DLSU that this FEU team is also a very veteran team. Actually, ito si Claire Castro lang yung major contributor who's only in her second season. But aside from her, Siat, Valenzona, Tanaman, all veteran players.
Diving for the loose ball. Both players from FEU and NU, Shelly Gopilan. What effort shown by her. Let's take a look at the action right here. Arellano diving for it. Paik trying to steal it away. Ball gets loose. Gopilan grabs it right before Tanaman could. Gopilan fires from the outside. Shelly Gopilan.
And Shelly Gopilan, I believe she's still perfect. Or sorry, she's 2 out of 3 from the three-point area.
She's got 8 points to lead all scores. Jack Tanaman has to get herself going here. That's only her first field goal of the contest, Marco.
Well, they've done a great job, again, neutralizing that two-man game. They've shown on the ball screen, prevented Tanaman from getting easy penetrations.
Speaking of penetrations, Afra Bernardino penetrating and scoring her first field goal of the contest.
Showing that ankle is looking quite well after that penetration.
Tanaman. Arellano drives baseline. Bernardino shuts the door.
And that's great defense here from NU.
Tonko with a steal. Tonko going all the way.
Great help defense, helping the helper for the NU Lady Bulldogs. No penetrations for the Lady Tamaraws.
Biggest lead of the game for NU. They are up by 18, 31-13. You're looking at the NU Lady Bulldogs unbeaten coming into game number 1 of the finals, 14-0. And FEU, the season 75 champions, 11-time women's basketball champions, but they're down big to start this final series. April Siad returning to the floor. Castro not ready for that pass from Tanaman. Abriam just scoring easily on the break.
And that's going to be another steal and fast break point here for the Lady Bulldogs. So after going down 0-2 here in the second quarter, they've rattled off 9 points already.
2 straight turnovers coming off a timeout, partner.
They're just overpowering this FEU Lady Tamaraw squad. And they're doing it primarily on defense.
Alam mo, partner, tama ka. Mukhang out of sync itong FEU. Siguro may halong pagod na rin yan.
Meron din.
3 straight do-or-die ball games.
Kasi even if you have actually several days of rest yan mula ng Saturday against LaSalle. Pero yung emotional exhaustion coming from 3 back-to-back or 3 straight na do-or-die na you're on the face of elimination. Medyo mahirap yun. Tapos kalaban mo pa ngayon as a thrice-to-beat advantage. So that's a very daunting task here for the Lady Tamaraws.
At nag-overtime pa. Yung kanilang muling laban kontra sa LaSalle. Siat breaks free. Bernardino challenges that shot. Bernardino gets the rebound, throws it up ahead to Gopilan. Gopilan wisely deciding to slow things down. Bernardino does not slow things down though, as she scores of a nifty move.
And that just shows you the talent level of Afra Bernardino. helping out on defense, getting the rebound, making the outlet pass to Gupilan, running the floor, getting it back, and then going with the floater.
Siat, FEU's best creator.
And you see 4 blue shirts just packing it inside the paint. And that's going to force
24
another
second shot clock violation.
turnover here for the girls in yellow.
You can see the captain,
Jam
Tanaman, playing in her final season, trying to wake her teammates up. We always see her barking at her teammates every time FEU is in a tough situation. We saw that in stepladder semis.
And what you have to do if you're FEU is to try to trim this lead down, at least going into the half. Maybe if you can bring it down to 15 or so, and then have another have a shot to bring it down to 10 in the third quarter.
Another turnover by FEU. Tonko going all the way.
But then you just getting their way on the fast breaks.
And that's the second field goal on the break, converted by Andrea Tonko.
I already have NU for 8 fast break points. Meanwhile, 4 for just the FEU Lady Tamaraws.
And Siat has been taking difficult shots,
Yeah.
Marco.
Kasi hindi siya makapenetrate. You have Gupilan, you have Miranda, and then previously you have Tin Abriam just backing it inside the paint.
When you think about the matchup, FEU is not really that small compared to
Oh yes.
NU. They have Jeka Gabriel in there, Claire Castro, and you have April Siat, but they can't seem to set those players up to score in the paint.
That's true. And then the concern here is that if you're FEU is after those players, who do you have coming off the bench? Meanwhile, for NU, outside of Abriam and Gupilan, you still have Miranda coming off the bench. And then you of course, you have Afil Bernardino who can score from everywhere. So it is really a tough matchup here. Maybe not on the initial starting 5, but across that bench.
38-13. NU increasing their lead to 25. Jamie Chan can't connect. Siat back to chance. Siat wants that basketball. Hands it off to Valenzona, who looks at Coach Alan Albano for the play. 14 to shoot. Errant pass stolen away by Andrea Tonko. Tonko with her third field goal, all coming via the fast break.
And you already with 9 turnovers here in this ball. FEU rather with 9 turnovers in the ball game. And it has resulted in 11 or 13 points off of turnovers for the Lady Bulldogs.
Valenzona with a miss.
2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. April Bernardino.
Afil Bernardino just putting on a clinic. Great interior pass, up fake, 1 dribble, and an under goal stab.
And this is what FEU lacks. A player like April Bernardino who can really create for herself and for her teammates. Kind of like what Lori Rivera does for UST.
Except April Bernardino compared to Lori Rivera looks stronger, a little bigger, and more experienced.
Definitely. After reaching the finals last year, as Lorraine Ventura drains that triple for FEU.
That is the first 3-pointer of the ball game here for the Lady Tamaraws. Shooting so far 20% from the field. Meanwhile, the Lady Bulldogs are shooting at about 60%.
It's a foul on Ria Nabalan.
Blocking ball number 8, Ria Choi Nabalan.
You know, partner, we mentioned that this Lady Bulldogs team, this is their second straight finals appearance. And we'll talk more about their finals appearance from last year after the timeout.
Stay with us on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. It is Blockbuster Wednesday here in the UAAP, and FEU making it back to the finals, but they trail NU 16-42 here in Game 1 of the women's basketball tournament.
Coach Bo Perasol here on your screens. Of course, they'll be playing at 2 p.m. in their knockout match against the National University.
Yeah, I've seen Coach Bo many times come early to the venue, and instead of just chilling at the dugout, he watches basketball, whether it's the juniors game or the women's game. Nanonood siya.
He's a basketball junkie in his own right, and if you're a basketball junkie, minsan kahit women's pa yan, kahit younger divisions,
you can appreciate the game.
You can appreciate the game. And especially if you're watching this NU squad that has really run rumpshot over the competition here in season 77.
And they work on both ends of the court. You saw that steal leading to this fast break opportunity, just unable to convert. FEU now trying to run. Valenzona inside pass, stolen away by Janet Season.
That was a 3-on-1 fast break situation, and Season comes up with the steal.
Bernardino inside pass.
Kita mo naman yung unselfishness ng Bernardino. Patira na yun. Still went for the assist and easy 2 points.
NU in total control of game number 1 of the women's basketball finals. They lead FEU 44-16. Andrea Tonko, the starting point guard, 6 points, all scored in the second quarter. April Bernardino bucking off a sprained left ankle to score all of her 6 points in the second period. And what about Tin Abrian, really playing on both ends of the court, defending Claire Castro and scoring as well. We'll be back for more of game number 1 of the women's basketball finals between FEU and NU, only here on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. At the half-hour tally is 44-16 in game number 1 of the women's basketball finals of season 77 of the UAAP. The NU Lady Bulldogs lead the FEU Lady Tamaraws in a clash of the first 2 teams that have swept the elimination round since the thrice-to-beat incentive was instituted back in 2008 or UAAP season 71. The NU Lady Bulldogs are already back on the court, warming up for the second half. Shelly Gupilan with a pep talk to start things off. Let's take a look at the halftime statistics.
Well, if you take a look at their effective field goal percentage, NU really dominating here, 61% to 23%. When you talk about effective field goal percentage, you're talking about both 3-pointers and 2-point field goal conversions. Rebounding also definitely going NU's way, 26-13, and that has resulted in a 9-0 advantage in second chance points. Turnovers almost even, but NU has converted more. They have 13 points off turnovers compared to just 5 for the Lady Tamaraws, and NU is just really doing it on both ends of the floor. They've limited FEU to just 16 points in the half, while they themselves have scored 44.
A scary moment for the NU side to start off this game, Marco. After Bernardino spraining her left ankle, had to be taped up once again, returned in the second quarter, and then scored 6 points.
That is true, and well, if you're the soon-to-be awarded MVP, you definitely don't want to miss Game 1 of the finals after all the work you've put in during the season. And Bernardino came back to score 6 points. And those are the other leading scorers. Gupilan with 8, Miranda with 7, Ventura with 5, and Valenzona with 4 for FEU.
April Siat and Jack Danaman have to heat up for FEU if they want to make it back in this game. When we return, we shall have the third quarter, game number 1 of the women's basketball finals here on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. Kicking off Blockbuster Wednesday is Game 1 of the Women's Basketball Finals between FEU and NU. We're glad to have you with us on ABS-CBN Sports in Action with Don Rojas, alongside Marco Benitez for this battle between NU and FEU.
And I thought coming off that halftime huddle for FEU, you have to really start out strong, or else this ball game is going to be over here in the third quarter. What you have to do is you try to bring the lead down to within 20 points going into the fourth quarter, maybe as low as 15 if you can manage, or even 10 points, and then hope for a good fourth quarter kick to get it close in the end game.
Coach Alan Albano digging deep, sending in Christine Lozano, who we did not see in the stepladder semifinals at all for FEU, starting off this third quarter.
And Coach Alan trying to find a spark off the bench in Lozano, but Abriam starting things going here in the third quarter rather.
Christine Abriam, all business. She is tasked to defend Claire Castro, who is trying to post her up right now.
And she's actually done an excellent job on Claire Castro. Claire Castro only has 2 points and has only attempted once in this ball game. Yun yung fast break, diba? She was trailing and then she got that lob pass.
I wonder if FEU will try to set her up even more here in the third quarter.
Well, that's what they have to do also. Maybe not, she may not get points, but hopefully be able to get fouls or draw some fouls from Gupilan, from Tina Briam, and even Miranda.
Jack Tanaman trying to complete the three-point play. She misses on the free throw but grabs her own miss. And Jack Tanaman is ang napakasipag na player when it comes to rebounding. Missing on that stop and pop jumper. Claire Castro working hard for that rebound, getting the put back to fall.
That was a good offensive rebound from Claire Castro. And even yung offensive rebound ni Tanaman, it was also because of a Claire Castro tap out.
Siat drives. And now FEU is able to draw some fouls early on here in the third.
That's a good decision there from April Siat to take it strong to the basket. If you're FEU, you also don't want to settle for outside jumpers. Try to get it strong, get it close to the basket. If not, get fouled and end one. At least draw a foul and head to the free throw line.
April Siat, we know of her on and off performances here in season 77, but this is the finals. You can't afford to have a slow start. She has got to come alive as her squad desperately needs her.
FEU coming out with some full court pressure, but NU is a very difficult team to press, especially with a veteran backcourt and Andrea Tonko, and Risa Paig.
Paig out to Bernardino. Bernardino able to draw a foul on Lozano.
It's going to be a foul on Lozano, who had her forearm out and got after Bernardino on the neck.
Bernardino, already one of the more versatile players in the UAAP last year, was part of the Mythical Five. Bernardino was averaging 11.8 points per game and 10.1 rebounds per game, a double-double in season 76. This year, her point total is up to 15.4, pero bumagsak ang kanyang rebounding, 8.6 na lang.
And also because Gemma Miranda is on the lineup, so she averages about 8 rebounds as well. So hindi na kailangan masyadong bumuhat sa rebounding nitong si April Bernardino. But if there's one Waterloo probably in her game, it's her free throw shooting. Shoots about 50% only from the free throw line.
Meanwhile, Jacqueline Tanaman trying to inspire her teammates here in the third.
That's going to be a traveling violation. from April Bernardino, but here's that
Tanaman
one.
with 2 early points. I mean, 2 early field goals for 4 points here in the third. Tanaman to Siak. Swings it to the corner. Valenzona for 3. It is too strong. Siak. Offensive rebound. Tanaman will set things up.
There's that horn set from FEU.
Gemma Miranda, first time white.
And Miranda now comes back into the ball game. So this is a strong, probably their strongest 5. With Miranda, Gupilan, Abriam, Bernardino, and Tonko on the floor.
This is a scary, scary 5 in the women's division. Shelly Gopilan. Oh, malaki ang pagbabago sa laro ni Shelly Gopilan. Kung ikukumpara natin, Marco, season 76 and season 77. Remember, there were so many instances last year wherein Shelly Gopilan would really try to do it all. Run the break, catch the ball from the three-point line, and then drive all the way to the basket, shoot threes. Now, as a team captain, she is sharing the load with her teammates.
And she still does that, but she's now more capable because she's much more mobile. Her free throw shooting is up 70% from the free throw line. Her three-point shooting is also ranks among the highest in her team. So a much improved game here for Shelly Gupilan.
47-24, NU. Huge lead. And this is what we were talking about.
Well, that's the first time they've been able to run that high-low play for Claire Castro.
14 seconds on the shot clock.
Claire Castro, the tallest player in this series, 6'4". Kaya naman kitang-kita natin si Tin Abriam, ganadong-ganado to try to make life difficult for Claire.
NU is actually doing it by committee. So si Gupilan and Tina Briam and even Miranda really trying to pack it in the paint. But if you're Claire Castro, if you get it that low, no need to bring the ball down, which he did exactly and which we mentioned in that previous game was one of her strengths.
Castro with 6 points now. FEU showing signs of life here in the third. Lozano called for steps. Lozano also part of that championship team back in season 75, along with Maldonado, Gabriel, Jamie Chan, Tanaman, Valenzona, and Siat. Jamie Chan, who started this game, is back on the floor now. Here comes Tonko. Tonko, difficult shot, bothered by Claire Castro.
Good attempt there from Andrea Tonko. It was a 3-on-2 situation.
FEU is actually winning this quarter. Outscoring NU 10-3, but a turnover right there by Chan. Escoto with a drive. Able to draw foul.
That was a strong drive once Escoto made up her mind, went strong to the left, and then drew the foul.
NU's got a lot of mobile bigs in their lineup at their disposal.
And you know, partner, just a little flashback yung pinag-usapan natin kanina nung finals last season. And you lost to LaSalle 2-1.
Yeah.
And they were actually blown out in game 1 by the Lady Archers, 72-48. Able to recover 67-52 in game 2, but finally lost at 69-61 in game 3. But NU has used that experience and it has translated to a dominating performance here in season 77.
NU was the #1 seed last year, partner. But then, dahil nanibago sila kasi first time ever ng NU na makapasok sa finals, they weren't able to grow up as fast as Coach Pat Aquino wanted them to.
Pero ngayon, kita mo sa galaw pa lang, very mature, very experienced. They're looking very loose here in this ball game. Siyempre, lamang ka nga ng 21.
At base sa interview ni TJ Manotoc sa Lady Bulldogs kasama si Coach Pat Aquino na ginawa niya sa The Score, sinabi nga ni Coach Pat Aquino na ang kulang sa kanila last year, yung experience talaga. The experience of playing in the finals, playing in a televised game, playing against an experienced team in LaSalle. It's an entirely different story this time around.
Wala na yung first time finals appearance jitters, so to speak. We were thinking before this game that they may come out rusty because of their 18-day break.
Yeah.
But really looking precise, really looking sharp, and very loose are these Lady Bulldogs.
Just imagine, 18 days ago, doon huling naglaro ang NU sa UAAP.
Oh.
As Gemma Miranda, former Rookie of the Year, making up for lost time. April Siat, the hero in the last game of FEU against LaSalle. Still unable to get herself going here today. Just 4 points and 5 rebounds.
Pero so far, partner, itong FEU, on track. Lead is down to 21, now make that 22. They've cut it down from 28. We still have about half a quarter, so another good spurt here for the Lady Tamaraos can bring it down to about 15 or 16 points, and they would still not be out of it.
FEU outscoring NU here in the third, but Denise Escoto, agresivo.
Yep, but that was a good tap from Trixie Antiquera. Tong Escoto at the right place at the right time.
Escoto scoring 4 points already here in the third. Sayang ang pagkakataon para sa FEU after already showing signs of life and outscoring NU to start things off here in this period. Turning the ball over. Escoto missing on the free throw. Tanaman lost the handle.
Another turnover for the Lady Tamaraos, really hurting their cause here in the third quarter.
16 seconds.
54 to 28. 4 minutes and 26 remains here in the third.
So they had the lead down to as low as 21, now back up to 26.
Christine Lozano.
Lozano finally scoring her first field goal here.
And you know, with the main guns of NU out here in the third quarter, this is what FEU has to do. They're going to have to force NU to some turnovers before Coach Pat brings back Bernardino, Gupilan.
FEU has outscored NU here 14 to 10 in this period. But, you know, taking one step forward and one step backward, that's what FEU is doing. And they can't generate any runs because they keep turning the ball over.
That's a smart move there from Trixie Antiquera, bouncing it off the leg of Arellado. FEU still outscoring NU 12 to 10 here in the third quarter. Doing a better job from the field at 50%.
Traveling on Escoto. And this is good experience also for the second unit of
yes.
NU. Obviously, Coach Pat is looking towards the future also. Gusto niya bigyan ng experience, ng kumpiyansa itong mga players na to moving forward. Pero para naman sa FEU, ito ang kanilang pagkakataon na makabalik dito sa laban na to.
Oh yes, and Valenzuela finally hitting it from the three. Second three-pointer for the Lady Tamaraos. Lead is back down to 21.
Escoto, tumira sa labas, bitin, rebound ni April Siat. Tanaman.
Halos walang pahinga dito si Jackie Taneman. Loses the ball.
Ventura lost her shoe and her sock, apparently.
And she gets the rebound and the outlet to Valenzuela, who misses that easy layup.
And Lorraine Ventura continuing to play without a sock and without her left shoe.
Yan ang puso, partner. Officials finally call a timeout to get her back that left sneaker.
Naka-double socks kasi. Itong si Lorraine Ventura.
Claire Castro checking back in. Angel Arellado also back in here for Ventura.
Naalala ko tuloy, partner, yung kay Mike Miller sa finals.
Nakatira pa ng 3 points yun. And you now with their own version of the full court press.
And you not looking at the score right now. They're playing this game as if dikit ang laban.
That's also one of the reasons why you bring in your bench players. Give them opportunity because coming off the bench, you can be sure that they're going to be eager to play and come out with energy. Minsan kasi pag starters yung nandun, after blowing out an opponent, tendency would be to relax a bit. That's what you don't want to happen if you're Coach Pat Aquino.
56-33. This is game 1 of the women's basketball finals. Miranda grabs her own miss. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Here comes Taneman. Taneman off the glass, masyadong malakas.
Sorry, miss there for Jackie Taneman. And you looking to make a counter run.
Escoto. Ball will stay with NU.
April Sian for Christine Lozano. In Albiac for Capsis Coto, Shelly Gupilan for Chema Miranda. April Bernardino for...
And you know, one thing that I'm sure Coach Alan Albano is thinking of also is his starters. Taneman, April Siat, Valenzuela have played major minutes. About 23 minutes apiece. So you wonder how much gas they will have left in the tank if ever they do get this down to a respectable margin.
Again, they're coming off 3 straight do-or-die games. Not a walk in the park. That's very draining physically and mentally for these student athletes.
Pero on the other end naman, you're gonna say, well, this is the finals. You've worked the entire season. So if you're a player, kahit hindi ka na ipahinga dito,
You gotta suck it up.
you gotta suck it up and might as well go all the way.
This NU team proving to be too much so far here in game number 1. Castro with a block on Abriam.
That's going to be a foul, I believe, on Antiquera.
Now imagine, partner, if Claire Castro, who's just a sophomore, develops a mean streak. Maybe the mean streak of a Micah Cortez or a Aliana Lim.
Danica Jose of Ateneo. So a lot of upside here for Claire Castro, and she can be a really good post threat here, although she already is, but an even more consistent and reliable post threat for the Lady Tamaraos.
Kasi looking at her now, she's still very raw. At hindi pa masyadong pulido yung kanya mga galaw sa poste.
Especially posting up back to the basket and then being faced with double teams or even triple teams. She has not proven that she's very effective against those. Pero yung mga lob pass and follow-up putbacks, she's been very effective.
The potential is there, and if FEU can develop her, they can be a force to reckon with. Dahil marami nga mawawala dito sa FEU. Players like Tanaman, Siat, Angelica Gabriel, the backup center. So if you're going to look beyond this season, you would like Claire Castro to be the centerpiece.
Meanwhile, veteran move, veteran cut there from April Bernardino, and a great pass from Shelly Gopilan.
Arellado. Tonko with the steal. Tonko gets it to Abriam, who was calling for the basketball. Paig, too strong. Abriam bothered by Castro. Foul was called.
Sayang, good opportunity there for Abriam and Lisa Paig. But credit also FEU for getting back down in transition. Penalty situation atong NU Lady Bulldogs, but just 45 seconds left in the third quarter. So let's see if FEU can still capitalize.
Coach Pat Aquino, in his third season as the head coach of NU, is a UP alumnus, played in the UAAP from 1989 to 1993. Previous coaching experience, LaSalle Green Hills, UPIS, Xavier School, and also coached the national women's team. And now he's hoping to deliver the first ever championship in the women's division for NU.
And I believe, partner, he was teammates with Coach Bo Perasol in UP. So actually, possibly one reason also why Coach Bo was watching earlier.
Gupilan to Bernardino on the break.
Fifth assist here for Shelly Gupilan. Bernardino already entering double digits in scoring.
10 points now for Bernardino, along with 7 rebounds. Tanaman swings it to Lozano, who swings it to the corner to Arellado. Difficult shot by Arellado. We haven't seen the patented running floater off the glass by Arellado here in this game.
And one of the reasons for that is even though they're up by 23 points, NU still hustling on defense, recovering to the open man.
.7 to go here in the third. Tonko wisely setting things up. Tonko, inside pass. Abriam spins, just unable to put it down. But that was a good shot for NU.
That was a good shot, good setup from Andrea Tonko.
One more quarter remains in game number 1 of the women's basketball finals, but FEU needs a miracle as they are down 39-60 with 10 minutes to play. Keep it right here on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. Inyo pong napapanood ang aming exclusive ABS-CBN sports coverage ng UAAP Season 77. It is Blockbuster Wednesday, and these guys are getting ready for their 2 p.m. matchup against Ateneo. Of course, Troy Rosario hoping to extend his UAAP career, bring NU to the finals, at katabi niya si Reden Celda. Could have a impact game today. Tignan natin, abangan natin yan. 2 p.m. po, dito lang sa ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Ateneo kontra NU. Knockout game in the men's Final Four. And then at 5:30, we have the knockout matchup between the defending champions, LaSalle and FEU.
Meanwhile, I was going to say, third quarter going FEU's way, 23-16 in terms of scoring. And they were able to bring the lead down to 21. But April Bernardino immediately opening up the fourth quarter with an inside stab to bring the lead back up to 23.
Castro misfiring on that putback. So going back to what you said, partner, FEU scored more points than they did in the third as compared to the entire
Oh
first
yes,
half.
that's true.
First half, they just had 16.
And they're going to have to come up with an amazing fourth quarter comeback if they want to make a ball game out of this.
Abriam in and out on that shot. Here comes Valenzona.
And this is what you like about the NU bigs. They get back down in transition, preventing the fast break from the Lady Tamaraos.
And you have a injured April Bernardino defending Tanama.
Yet you notice that Bernardino is the one guarding the point guard of FEU, and that's how versatile Bernardino is.
Tanaman all over her. Bernardino able to release it in time. Risa Paig able to draw a foul. She will head to the line for two.
And just to show you how dangerous this NU team is, whoever the ball is outlet to can lead the fast break. That time it was Risa Paig, and then she had Shelly Gopilan on the other wing.
And Paig is the player on the NU side that is least appreciated by the fans, but is appreciated a lot, of course, by her teammates and the coaching staff. Syempre, pag pinag-uusapan natin ng NU, you look at Gopilan, you look at Bernardino, sila talaga ang mga star ng team. But Risa Paig does a lot of things that you don't see on the stat sheet. The energy she provides, the hustle.
Yep, that's true. Every team needs a role player who can provide the energy, who can provide the intangibles. And for NU, Risa Paig is one of those.
Tanaman with 8 points after that floating back shot.
Lead is 21 here for the Lady Bulldogs.
Ibang-iba talaga ang laro ni Gopilan. She's more relaxed and composed.
And Risa Paig hitting on a baseline turnaround.
We were just talking about Paig. It's Gopilan who set her up.
There's a two-man game here at the top of the key. But you see, Abriam has done a great job preventing Claire Castro from flashing into the paint and getting an open look. And with Bernardino guarding the point guard, it becomes very difficult for Tanaman to pass above the outstretched hands of April Bernardino.
Gopilan fouled by Jack Tanaman.
Kung titingnan mo yung 5 nung NU on the floor, partner, halos lahat sila kasing laki ni April Siat ng FEU, who is the 4 for FEU. Ang kasing laki lang ng mga guards ng FEU is si Andrea Tonko. So that just goes to show you the height and the heft advantage of the Lady Bulldogs.
65-43. Coach Pat Aquino entering this matchup with a UAAP record of 35 wins and 13 losses in 3 UAAP seasons. This is his 3rd season as the head coach.
That's just an amazing run or amazing record for Coach Pat Aquino. Started out in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Finished in first place, tied with DLSU at 12-2 last season. And then now swept the league 14-0 and is poised to win their first championship, of course, after this impending victory and another one in this series.
Abriam, sweeping hook shot. Tin Abriam with 8 points in this game.
And Tin Abriam has already eclipsed her average of 5 points per ball, 5.6 points per ball game. But I think more than her offensive contribution, it's been her defense on Claire Castro that is very remarkable here this afternoon.
Sa simula pa lang nakita na natin she was getting very physical with Claire Castro, making sure that the sophomore does not get comfortable in the paint.
And if I'm not mistaken, she was the one who started out the scoring
for NU to start this ball game out. So off the bat pa lang, aggressive na tong si Tin Abriam.
Siyempre, sila Abriam, sila Bernardino, sila Shelly Gupilan, Tonko. They know the pain that they felt when they lost to LaSalle last year in the finals because they were so close to delivering the first championship for NU. Siyempre, dala nila yan papasok dito sa season na to, and they don't want any letdowns here in the final.
And Coach Pat Aquino bringing Bernardino out, bringing Tin Abriam out. FEU immediately scoring afterwards.
FEU applying full court pressure. Arellado kicks it out, stolen away by Trixie Antiquiera.
Itong si Escoto, napag-usapan din natin to. I remember last year, he's a big man who can bring the floor, very long, very athletic.
And she's very hard to guard because she's a lefty.
Yep, that's true.
Another player very hard to guard. Itong si Gemma Miranda. They gotta be the best six woman here in the women's basketball tournament of the UAAP, Marco.
Yep. I would agree. And Lorraine Ventura hitting her first three-pointer of the ball game.
Comeback player of the year, definitely. Itong si Gemma Miranda.
I checked that. That's the second three-pointer from Ventura, but FEU has, as a team, only 3 three-pointers in this ball game. 3 out of 14 for 21%.
Valenzona. Castro, offensive rebound. I imagine next year, if Claire Castro continues to work hard in the gym, talaga na mag-ensayo siya ng gusto, we're going to see those baskets fall straight through the hoop every time she gets these offensive rebounds.
And you notice when she gets the rebound, she's still a bit off balance. That when she shot off of 1 foot, she was not able to compose herself. With a little more strength training, a little more experience, she's going to learn to steady herself first and then go up strong for the putback.
It will be Claire Castro's team along with Arellado next year. And they will be the leaders of this FEU Lady Tam squad. Tanaman. She continues to fight. This feisty point guard.
Lead is 19, partner. But just 5 minutes remaining.
Lead pass. Valenzona all the way.
FEU is continuing with their full court pressure. Now dropping to a 2-3 zone. And Coach Pat Aquino is telling his players to milk the clock.
Season. Tumira sa labas. Antiquera, wala. Ball will stay with NU. Fresh 24.
Here's that kick out to Jack Tanaman. First three-pointer of the ball game for Jackie Tanaman.
And then Tanaman with this assist up ahead to Ana Valenzona.
Castro back into the ball game.
Nakabawi.
That's a big three here for Trixie Antiquera.
She missed the previous attempt.
Yep, and then stopping the run of FEU.
Yung mga ganyang klaseng rebound.
Naunahan pa si Claire Castro eh.
Nice inbounds pass, nice play, drawn up, Gupilan to Antiquera. Imagine an improved Castro would snatch that ball, put it right back up in the air for an easy 2 points. Shelly Gupilan gets a huge hand from the NU faithful here, NU teammates as she goes out. Bernardino checks back in. Valenzona steps back for 3. Way short on that shot. And that just says a lot about the FEU team. Talagang
Medyo
Napagod na siguro.
Yeah, napagod din. You have to give him a lot of credit. Defeating USC in that step ladder and then beating LaSalle, who had twice to beat advantage. Last game in overtime. Really takes a lot.
At patuloy pa rin silang lumalaban dito sa larong ito.
That's
Look
true.
at Castro sealing the defender, turning and scoring. Perhaps a preview of the future.
That one was against Escoto. Hindi niya magawa yun kanina kay Tin Abriam. So Abriam immediately getting the nod back from Coach Pat Aquino. Getting ready to check back in.
Bernardino blocked by Castro. Miranda fouled by Castro as Castro went back to recover. Let's take a look at this seal right here. Bumagsak ang defender ni Castro. Umikot lang siya. Nagpakawala ng hook shot. Basket is good.
Foul shots for Gemma Miranda.
Lead was as high as 30, 46 to 16. And it's down to just 18. Back up to 19 after that free throw by Miranda.
So Coach Pat Aquino making sure, Miranda, Abriam, Bernardino in the ball game. Antiquera and that is Janet Season manning the backcourt. Little commotion here on the floor, and
Apparently, Claire Castro had a necklace that she had to remove. So she walked back over to the bench to hand it over to one of the members of the coaching staff.
sometimes a little dangerous also, especially with all the boxing out inside the paint. Minsan pag sumabit din yan sa kamay ng defender or even teammates, a little bit dangerous. Of course, you want to avoid any injuries.
20-point lead by NU. Tanaman inside. April Siat.
That's a great ankle breaker crossover move there from Jackie Tanaman.
Tanaman to Siat. We haven't said that a lot here today, Marco.
And that was the winning combination against DLSU.
And you wonder why FEU was not able to execute
Well, I
their
think
two-man game today.
they tried to do that, but the defense of NU really very effective. And you know, the difference has been instead of having, let's say, a Trisha Piatos guarding you if you're Jack Tanaman, you have a Afril Bernardino who is much taller, so that that entry pass to the cutting big man, either Castro or April Siat, is extremely more difficult.
This is a huge 18-point lead for NU, trying to seal the deal right here. Antiquera in and out on that shot. Here's Tanaman continuing to fight. Plays with a lot of heart, showing a lot of leadership. Always trying to set the tone for her team. But here, getting bothered by a much taller defender. Yun nga yung weakness na binanggit mo, Marco, when Tanaman gets bothered by a much taller defender.
Tsaka yung depensa ng NU dun sa two-man game nitong FEU. Sometimes they switch, sometimes they double. They've given Jackie Tanaman different looks. And when they switch, like what happened there, Miranda and Bernardino halos magkasing laki. So you don't lose anything because they're practically just as quick as the other one. So it's extremely difficult for Tanaman. There's going to be a jump ball between Miranda and Jackie Tanaman.
Easy tip there by Gemma Miranda as Antiquera gets it across the half-court line, and you will just milk the clock here. trying to put the exclamation point on this impending win. Tanaman blocked by Bernardino.
Bernardino still playing defense.
Bernardino drops it down low to Miranda. Castro recovers the ball. Arellano challenging the defense of Abriam. Nowhere to go. That's another turnover for FEU. Gemma Miranda unable to get it to trickle in. And less than a minute to go in this contest. As Castro jacks that one up.
That's a great mid-range jumper from Claire Castro. Well, he's shown us that she can hit it from the free throw line. And here's that defense from FEU getting back in transition. Shelly Gupilan back into the ball game. So,
Naninigurado.
oh, Coach Pat Aquino not leaving anything to chance. Starting 5 ata niya to. Except,
For Nabalan.
yep.
And that will probably do it as Coach Alan Albano calls a timeout with his team down by 18 here in the fourth. The Ateneo Blue Eagles getting ready for their matchup, which will be shown live at 2 p.m. here on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Knockout game against National University. Of course, Mr. Anton Montenola of Far Eastern University.
Who will be here until
Yes.
this evening together with our colleague, Coach Mark Molina. They will be having that do or die FU versus LaSalle matchup for that other final spot at 5:30 p.m.
Sinabi nga ni ating kumpare na si Mark Molina na he wouldn't mind staying here all day, even on Saturday.
Which, as you all know, is game 1 of the finals for season 77.
Game 2 of the women's basketball finals as well.
That's true.
Now, being that NU is playing in this game, Marco, and they're about to win this contest, game number 1 against FEU, how will that affect the morale of the NU men's basketball team going into their Final Four contest against Ateneo?
Well, definitely going to be a motivational point here for the NU Bulldogs, seeing their lady counterparts come away with a dominating win here against the FEU Lady Tamarao. So I'm sure it will serve as an inspiration kasi sabi nga nila, ginawa na ng mga babae, it's our turn.
Ito, tumawag muna ng timeout. So, lamang ng 18 ng NU, 76 to 58. 40.7 seconds remains in this contest. And we'd like to take this opportunity to say happy birthday to a lot of people. Actually, unang-una, ang channel head ng ABS-CBN Sports and Action, si Sir Vince Rodriguez. Happy birthday, Sir Vince.
Ikaw to Joy.
Si Joy binigay, kay Joy binigay, drive down, set ng pick dito ka. Tira ka. Okay, ulit.
One team!
Coach Alan Albano giving out the final instructions. He's also in his 3rd season as the head coach of FEU. He was the champion coach, the coach who led FEU to that 16-0 sweep back in season 75. His first season as the head coach of the FEU Lady Towns. More birthday greetings to give out. Ito, I'm sure kilalang-kilala mo to, partner, si Miss Mariel Benitez, ang kapitana ng Malditas.
Oo. Kailan ba yung pakain?
Kasama ako dyan, ha? Loko lang. Okay, happy birthday, Mariel. And happy birthday also to Marlon Banzales, Reggie Espiritu, si paring Jet Montebon. At syempre, ang ating kasama na si Mosey Ravena.
Aha. That was last Monday, si Ma'am Mozi.
Happy birthday, Moz.
Oh,
See you soon for the UAAP volleyball tournament. A lot of things to look forward to dito sa Season 77 ng UAAP. Actually, nagsisimula pa lang tayo kahit patapos na ang ating basketball season.
tsaka partner, while we're greeting, we'd also like to greet si Mami Jo Antonio. She's a mother of one of her former teammates, watches all the UAAP games all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. So
Wow.
via TFC. So hello there, Mami Jo.
Nakakatuwa, no? Napaparood ang UAAP all over the globe via the Filipino channel or TFC. So, mabuhay po kayong lahat dyan. Now, if you're Coach Alan Albano, Marco, ano ang magiging mensahe mo sa iyong mga players after this game and moving forward into game number 2?
Well, if you're Coach Alan Albano, you just want to take it one game at a time. Right now, you're going to go down practically 2 games here in the series. And you still have to win three victories against the NU Lady Bulldogs. The mission does not change. It's just that NU has already won 1. You still have to win 3, so you take it one game at a time. Try to learn from the mistakes here in this ball game. Try to come out stronger at the start of the ball game, which they were not able to do against this NU Lady Bulldogs squad.
And that will do it. Game number 1 taken by Coach Pat Aquino of the NU Lady Bulldogs. A dominating win, 80-58. The final score, the 2 coaches meet at half court. They break out some smiles. Coach Pat Aquino and Coach Alan Albano. Although hindi sila naglaban bilang mga players sa UAAP dahil si Coach Alan pumasok 1994 na after the last year of Coach Pat Aquino as a player, 1993. At syempre si Coach Alan Albano from FEU. Dito naman sila naglalaban sa UAAP bilang mga head coaches ng kanilang mga koponan. 80-58. Once again, yan po ang final score ng ating laban. All NU needs to do to duplicate FEU's historic 16-0 sweep is to win the next game.
Yep, one more game here, and if you're FEU, you're at a very good position. Just one game away from your first ever championship. And you want to start out strong in the next game to take the fight out of FEU early. Meanwhile, for FEU, they just want to start out strong and then hopefully make it a close game and come away with a steal in that game 2 on Saturday.
Looking at the leading scorers, syempre ang nanguna para sa NU, si Gemma Miranda with 12 points. Pero syempre ang ating best player, Afril Bernardino, despite spraining her left ankle to start this game, still finishing with 12 points, matching that output of Miranda.
Yep, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 of them offensive, 1 assist, and shooting 60% from the field. The soon-to-be MVP, Afril Bernardino.
Congratulations to Afril, to Shelly Gupilan, Tin Abriam, and the rest of the NU Lady Bulldogs for winning game number 1. Just 1 win away from making history here in the women's basketball tournament of the UAAP. At mga kapamilya, mga kababayan, abangan po ninyo ang 2 p.m. matchup, men's Final Four sa pagitan ng Ateneo at NU. Sa ngalan ni Direk Raul de Ocampo, Diana Saison, my partner Marco Benitez, ako po ang inyong lingkod, Anton Rojas, nagsasabing abangan po ninyo ang laban ng NU at Ateneo sa Final Four ng men's basketball tournament ng UAAP.